Hans Jakob Christoffel von Grimmelshausen was a German author. Biography. Grimmelshausen was born at Gelnhausen. At the age of 10 he was kidnapped by Hessian soldiery, and in the midst tasted the adventures of military life in the 30 Years' War. At the close of the war, Grimmelshausen entered the service of Franz Egon von Fürstenberg, Bishop of Strasbourg. In 1665, he was made Schultheiss at Rentschen in Baden. On obtaining this appointment, he devoted himself to literary pursuits. He died in Rentschen, where a monument was erected to him in 1679. Works. Grimmelshausen's work is greatly influenced by previous utopian and travel literature, and the Simplicissimus series attained a readership larger than any other 17th-century novel. Formerly, he was credited with Der fliegende Wundersmann nach dem Mond, a translation from Jean Baudouin's L'Homme dans la Lune, itself a translation of Francis Godwin's The Man in the Moon, but recent scholars have denied this. He did, however, write an appendix to a 1667 edition of that translation, the basis for that association. Der fliegende Wundersmann was included in his collected works, though without the appendix. Simplicissimus in 1668. Grimmelshausen published Der Abendliche Simplicissimus Deutsch, D.H. Die Beschreibung des Lebens eines seltsamen Vagabunten, genannt Mailche Sternfels von Fuchsheim, which has been called the greatest German novel of the 17th century. For this work he took as his model the picaresque romances of Spain, already to some extent known in Germany. Simplicissimus has been interpreted as its author's autobiography. He begins with the childhood of his hero, and describes the latter's adventures amid the stirring scenes of the 30 Years' War. The rustic detail with which these pictures are presented makes the book a valuable document of its time. For some, however, the later parts of the book overindulge in allegory and finally become a Robinson Crusoe story. The historian Robert Ergang draws upon Gustav Koneker's Quellen und Forschungen zur Lebensgeschichte Grimmelshausen's to assert that the events related in the novel Simplicissimus could hardly have been autobiographical, since lived a peaceful existence in quiet towns and villages on the fringe of the Black Forest, and that the material he incorporated in his work was not taken from actual experience, but was either borrowed from the past, collected from hearsay, or created by vivid imagination. Other works. Among Grimmelshausen's other works are the so-called Simplician Schriften, Die Erzbetrügerin und Landsturzeren Kuricher, Der seltsame Springinsfeld, Das wunderbarliche Vogelnest. He also published satires, such as Der Deutsche Michel, and gallant novels, like Die Twald und Ameland. Legacy. Grimmelshausen's Landsturzeren Kuricher became an inspiration for Bertolt Brecht's play Mother Courage and Her Children. Der Abendliche Simplicissimus inspired Simplicissimus, a satirical German weekly. Simplicissimus is also a name used to refer to Grimmelshausen's novel or its protagonist.